Good afternoon and welcome to the latest results show from the Concours Virtual in aid of UNICEF. The Concours is presented by Haggerty, and this Class F is the Golden Age of Detroit, which is sponsored by our friends at Chattanooga Motor Festival. I'm Jeff Love. I'm one of the co-chair of the Concours. To my right is David Lillywhite. And joining us is the chief class host and also the chief judge of the Concours, Dave Kinney. Good to see you, Dave.
Good to see you as well.
Thank you. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to David Lillywhite, who will take you through the results of the public vote.
Okay, so public vote, obviously voted for by the viewers and visitors to this site. We always get a great reaction, so thank you very much. And we'll go straight into the results. Third place, we have the 1959 Chevrolet Impala Coupe. That belongs to Peter Saros. So congratulations, Peter. Fantastic car. In second place, we've got something really special. It's the 1962 Ford Thunderbird. That's owned by Todd Kramer. That's a really lovely car. Congratulations, Todd. And first place, 1949 Cadillac Series 2 Club Coupe. That is owned by Lauren Holber. This is an amazing car. If you haven't seen it, click through the pictures because it's really quite special. So congratulations, Lauren. And I'll now hand back to Jeff.
Great, thanks, Dave, and thank you for the for voting. So over to the judges' vote, and Dave, as class host, tell me how you went about choosing between this amazing array of American cars.
Well, we did kind of free range, you might say. I asked all the judges to submit their 4 top choices, and we were going to have a actual Zoom meeting, but the choices weren't unanimous, but there were only a few of them that bubbled up to the top when all the judges got together. So we had some discussion all by email, and we were able to quickly get our first 2 cars were pretty good, but we had a lot of controversy about the third and the fourth place, even though we don't talk about a fourth place, we don't have it. But I would say that every single car had advocates for it. One of the cars that didn't show up, we'll talk about a little bit later, was one that was a third choice of 2 of the judges, and an also ran choice of myself as well. So we had a good conversation, but there was an overwhelming first and second choice.
Okay, great. Well, that's it's good to have a clear-cut winners in such a category. So I'll talk through the third, second, and first. And Dave, if you want to just interject with any reasons why you think they got that particular vote, that would be great. Thank you. So in third place was the 1961 Chrysler 300G, which is owned by Michael Falcone.
You know, I would say that one of the things is, how can you talk about cars of the 50s, American cars of the 50s, and not talk about Virgil Exner? He was involved in in the entire Finn era. He was an important Chrysler stylist, and someone who was kind of a thought leader in Detroit as well, in terms of which way things should go. It was a lot of the lower, bigger of Detroit that showed up with Chrysler. And the 300 series cars were also performance cars, basically. So I thought the 300G was a good choice of the ones that we had to look at. Also very, very popular in terms of the judges. Almost everyone mentioned this car. Even if they didn't mention it as one of their top finishers, they all said, pretty much the same thing. Virgil Exner design deserves a tribute.
Okay, great. On to second place. Second place goes to the 1960 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz, owned by Jay Hirsch.
again, the dawn of the kind of the rocket era of styling. This was, for the longest time, the 59 Cadillac was kind of the Ne Plus Ultra of all American excess designs, and then they toned it down in 1960. And the 60, in a very overstated way, is a tasteful car on its own. I know that I'm mixing metaphors here when we talk about a 60 Cadillac, but it is luxury. It is kind of the dawn of that kind of rocket era that goes from the jet era into the rocket era. So beautiful cars, lovely to drive in a, once again, wallowing American way. But I thought that was a very good choice and a very solid choice for second place among our judges.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether such a car would feature quite so well in the English countryside.
Well, we did have a plethora of American judges on this one, I will say. So.
Yeah, rightly so as well, yes. Okay, so leaving us to first place, and the first place goes to the 1949 Cadillac Series 62 Club Coupe. Again, the same choice as the People's Vote, owned by Lauren Huber. So congratulations, Lauren. It's a fantastic car, and I think richly deserved the winning spot.
I think that if you would debadge a 49 Cadillac and say that it was any manner of European coach-built cars, you put a Delahaye on there, you put a Talbot Lago. I mean, obviously that's not it. But you could even say, maybe an Italian design house would have come up with something like that. Yes, it's got more chrome because it's an American car, but it's actually, you can see the bridge from the, what they were thinking at Bentley when they were designing the Continentals and what they were thinking in General Motors. And this, of course, Harley Earl's, beginning days. 49, there were post-war designs, but this was one of the first kind of fully post-war designs that was executed. It's actually, I think very overwhelmingly, and it's fun that it's the people's choice as well as the judge's choice for first place. It was head and shoulders above, a few of the other cars. Now, one of the cars I'd like to talk about, though, is the Nash. It was one of the cars that didn't finish, but everybody loved the Nash. Our Thunderbird that came in, I'm so happy it got People's Choice second class because it was a car that we talked about a lot as well. Of all these cars, the only one I've ever owned is a 62 Thunderbird, so it was a personal favorite of mine. But I think this is one of those times when it's great when the public and the judges agree on something. And so our number one choice, the 49 Cadillac, was just an overwhelming first choice.
And I think that's the first class where both the People's Choice and the judges' choice has been the same as well. So obviously a very popular choice, and I think really beautifully presented as well. I mean, it's a stunning example of that particular car which Lauren put into the Concours.
Yeah, they're all beautiful cars. They're all fun cars. They all represent the era so well. It was fun because, a lot of the times you're thinking, 60s Detroit or 50s Detroit. And actually what happened was we had a 40s Detroit car that won. And, you can think of it as maybe the granddaddy of some of the other cars as well, because that 49 was kind of a launching pad for fins, for example. They were a little understated in 49, certainly compared to 59. But it was the dawn of the era. So I think once again we have a really good representation of that whole Detroit era.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Dave, for being the chief judge in the class. Thank you for all the judges who helped there as well. Thank you for the public for voting. It wouldn't be a Concours without you guys. Thank you again to the Chattanooga Motor Festival and to Haggerty. And if I could ask for anything, please continue to vote for the classes as they come forward. We've got some great classes coming up. And please give to UNICEF. This Concours is in aid of a great charity at this particular time. So if you do get a chance, please do so. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the show. Cheers.